Ladies and gentlemen, from Boardwalk Hall, we cordially welcome you to HBO's World Championship Boxing, being presented to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated in association with Arena Box Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, Tecate, patrocinador oficial, and our host, Caesars Atlantic City. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds in the featherweight division. This bout being sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. Commissioner is Aaron Davis. Chairman, Tony Orlando. Board members, Dennis McDonough and Stephen Katz. Our timekeeper is Fred Bloomstein. And our physicians at ringside, Dr. Dominic Coletta, Dr. Blair Bergen, and Dr. Dane Clark. The judges scoring the action are Julie Letterman, Shafiq Rashada, and Steve Weisfeld. The referee in charge, Alan Huggan. And now, from Atlantic City, New Jersey, we find out quién es el más macho. Introducing first, the fighter in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing silver trimmed in gold. On the scale, he weighed in at an official 127 pounds with a professional record of 41 victories against 3 losses, and 34 of his victories coming by way of knockout. The former WBO Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, fighting out of Cuauhtémoc, Chihuahua, Mexico, de pura sangre tarahumara, Daniel Ponce De Leon. His opponent across the ring in the red corner. He steps in wearing red, white, and blue. He weighed in at an identical 127 pounds. He enters the ring an undefeated fighter with 20 victories. 16 of those victories coming by way of knockout. The 2004 Olympic gold medalist and former WBA and IBF featherweight champion of the world, El Ciclón de Guantánamo, Cuba, Yuri Ortiz, Gamboa.
Ortiz? Yeah, Ortiz here. Ortiz.
No, one guy in, let's go.
Okay.
One guy in.
Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch him up. Good luck.
At Gamboa's best, he is a positively electrifying performer. But those electrifying performances were fewer and farther between as his competition got stiffer in recent years, until his most recent fight against Solis. That was the electrifying Gamboa. He's looking to keep the ball rolling tonight.
Well, early in his career, I was not that impressed with him because of his defense. He was getting hit easy and knocked down often. But seemingly he's improved his defense and his all-around boxing skills.
He's been down 4 times against lesser opponents. That's because of a tendency to simply drop his hands and walk in. Recently, he's fought with more responsible defense, and after his devastation of Solis, who fought Manny Pacquiao a few years back, compared him favorably to Pacquiao.
Gamboa went through a period where he was becoming so much of a responsible boxer he wasn't fun to watch anymore. Against Salido, who wound up beating Lopez, that win looks good now. Gamboa was less than scintillating. Against Solis, he was putting it all together. Responsible defense, amazing offense, and he looked like an emerging super fighter.
And now that both fighters are in the ring together, we can see the difference you pointed out, Emmanuel, in how their gloves are wrapped. Tell us again what the potential effect is.
Well, it's one of the things that some commissioners stop. It's called skinning the gloves, where you take the strings of the glove and you try to move them down below the regular wrist area, and the more that you can get the gloves and then you pull it back, it takes the weight off. But in this case here, I don't think they've did that, but they've used the taping a lot lower on Gamboa.
So in effect, what you're trying to do is you're trying to turn an 8-ounce glove into a 6-ounce glove.
Yes, you pull the weight
by
back.
pushing the padding down into the wrist.
Yes, that's what you do, and that's exactly what happened. It's a little small thing, but it can make a difference going down the stretch.
Well, particularly when the harder gloves are on the hands of the faster-handed fighter.
Yes.
Could lead to cuts.
But so far, you know, I'm looking at Ponce De Leon. He's keeping a good tight defense. He hasn't left hips open at all. And, you know, he still is a big puncher. It's something you can never count out his punching power. But overall, he's just maybe a little bit slower, but his punching power is very good still.
Well, he's more experienced than Gamboa, and he looked very relaxed in there in the first round.
He's so much better than he was 3 or 4 years ago. He has more dimension to his game now, Ponce De Leon.
Well, I mean, even though he wound up on the losing end against Broner, the way he fought had to give him confidence. Harold Letterman scored the fight for him. Many felt that he had done at least as well as Broner in the fight. And Broner's a prize prospect with a lot of talent.
Well, he's going tit for tat this round and may have won the round up until this point.
He just outlanded Gamboa.
Yes.
Middle of the ring, landed straight left hand.
And he's making Gamboa's punches go to the outside of his defense. He's moving and smothering the punches by moving inside, which is surprising.
And he's relaxed, and he's timing things so well that so far the big speed advantage for Gamboa isn't showing up.
No, it's not.
Long jab for Ponce De Leon. Pronounced southpaw stance. He will open his shoulders to slug when he gets inside. Seemed to be a feeling out round for Gamboa, who didn't really much go after Ponce De Leon. Might have allowed Ponce De Leon to gain a little confidence.
Maybe have won that round.
Toma ahí, espérate, Carlito, deja que tome ahí. Espérate, Mandy, espérate. Toma ahí.
Relax,
Toma
relax,
ahí.
breathe.
Dame.
Breathe.
La amenaza. Una de las cosas fundamentales.
One of the
que
things, one of the fundamentals
tú le vas a ganar fácil
that
ese
you're going to
tipo
win easily
si tú
with
mantienes tu
if
ritmo.
you keep your
Acuérdate
rhythm.
que todo lo tuyo va a ser ritmo.
Yeah.
You got Mapi.
Mapi, ya está en la boca.
You got Mapi.
No, ya no tiene la boca, Ponce. Ya no se lo preocupe.
Okay.
Tú agarra la cubeta y agarra el recuerdo.
Where Mapi?
Píntalo y métele el ópera y gancho. Píntalo.
And when you catch him up there. The body, good body here.
Go back, go back.
Books. Round 2 begins. CompuBox numbers in round 1. A slight statistical edge to Ponce De Leon, who landed 9 as opposed to 6 for Gamboa, and threw a few more as well. But Harold Letterman scores the first round for Gamboa, the 8-1 favorite in the fight.
De Leon reminds me of a southpaw pitcher who's finally learned how to pitch, has a feel for it. He talked to us yesterday in our fighter meeting about changing the speed of his punches and even the direction midair. But here it's not helping him against an overwhelming offensive fighter in Gamboa, at least not in that moment.
Looks as though Gamboa has decided to assert himself much more offensively in the second round. At least that's been the case in the first 45 seconds. Good right hand by Gamboa. De Leon walked right into it.
With Gamboa's hand speed, he should try to force exchanges with Ponce De Leon because Ponce De Leon, his punches are wider and looper. And inside of those punches, you can get Gamboa to get away with much shorter punches, so he should try to force him into exchanges.
But I mentioned that, Jim, because about his changing punches in midair and the timing, because you mentioned De Leon's timing, and that's really the only way he has to beat
Yes,
his
if he
speed,
keeps the fight at
Gamboa's
this
speed.
distance, right. But if he crowds him and Gamboa makes him punch fast, he cannot fight too good. He has to have loop room for his punches, just like that.
Pick it up, okay? Let's go.
Referee Alan Huggins has warned Ponce De Leon for the low blow on that looping punch from the outside. Good left hand by Ponce De Leon. Right hand in return by Gamboa.
Fighting this way, I'm surprised that Ponce is doing very well.
Good body shot by Ponce De Leon. Gamboa came back with the left.
Not that it matters anymore, guys, because Lopez lost, but Lopez has finally looked better against an opponent than Gamboa. Lopez knocked out De Leon in 1 round.